Hey, I'm Brad Bessie, and welcome to the Plugged In Parent Cheat Sheet. Summer has been canceled. A lot of the camps that we're sending our kids to, a lot of summer schools, those are not in session. So what are we going to do? We've got to reinvent summer, and that's what this special issue is all about. And today, I am joined by Grammy Award-winning singer and songwriter, and Terry Steele. Terry, hi. Welcome to the Plugged In Parent Cheat Sheet.
Hey, Brad. How are you? So good to be here.
I'm so great to have you. Now, I know you from working with Whitney Houston and Patti LaBelle and Stevie Wonder, and you wrote Here and Now, that great Luther Vandross song. You're the lead writer on that. So, I mean, I know you from that part of life, but you started this beautiful Facebook group called My Edible Garden While at Home. Did I get the name right?
You got it perfect. Yes, My Edible Garden While at Home.
And you started this as a response to sort of COVID-19 because of the pandemic. Really, a lot of people are at home. You're gardening from home. So we wanted to sort of see what was available, right? What you want to see people's gardens.
There you go.
And so I know my nephew and niece are starting to garden, and now my son Gabriel, who's 12, wants to garden. And I know that you're gardening with your nephew and niece, Tyler and Bryson. And Tyler's she's a girl, and she's 14, and then Bryson's 12, right? Same as Gabriel.
Yes.
So gardening with them has been an experience, right? So gardening for summer is something that we could do as an alternative with our kids, right?
Oh, it's a wonderful thing to do with the kids and with the family even. You know, it gets everybody out the house into the sunlight and lets them experience taking care of something and watching it grow. And I just found it to be wonderful. You know, I started really with them because I wanted to get them off the computers for a minute, you know, and get them outside. My little guy, he's all into Fortnite and all of those things. So I wanted to get him outside into the fresh air.
So it wasn't you didn't find it a struggle to get them off the games into the garden?
No, well, you know what? I did not force them, and I did not keep them out too long. I let them stay out, you know, about an hour or so, and just water, and we would plant seeds, and they just developed a love for it. I'm overjoyed about that too.
Yeah, and you have on the you shared with me to share with our audience in the newsletter 5 tips to getting started, right? So what's our number one tip?
Well, the number one tip is according where you are, you want to choose your space. You know, I actually am. I have a lot of space in my backyard, but if you have a patio, you can garden in pots. If you have a balcony, and say you're in an apartment or a condo and you have a balcony, you can still garden in pots and raised beds. Or if you have a yard, just a little space to begin with, I recommend plotting out a little space and clearing it, and you know, decide what you want to put in there and go for it. It's easy.
Yeah, and then navigating that with our kids, it actually does open up a conversation, right, about maybe the type of garden we want to have, right? So we're all about trying to use sort of pop culture and activities and things that we're doing as a bridge for communicating with our kids. So that actually becomes an important sort of element because you're building this together.
Yes, and they love to be included, you know, on what do they like to eat? What are the things you like to eat? You know, I would always say that to my kids and go through the different type of vegetables. And then, honestly, even when you're planning what you're going to plant and the vegetables, you know, think about things that you want to prepare with them. You know, because kids love to take that in the kitchen. So,
right. So, and then what sort of materials do we need to start with?
Really simple. Again, it's according once you decide if you want to raise bed or you're growing in pots or the ground, then, you know, you're going to need, you know, I actually bought some little, look at this. You know, I'm so like ready.
Oh yeah, good.
Like a little fork.
Yes.
That would be great. A little hand shovel.
Oh, that's good.
some clippers.
Sure.
I mean, these are really rusty. I've been working with these. And of course, some gloves, and get the same thing for your kids. You know, so if they're smaller size, make sure you have gloves for them and tools that they could use too. And a water can would be great if you're indoors, so you can, or a water hose, you know, but you need water. And compost. You need a few bags of compost or potting soil, according where you are, or raised bed soil. And it's really simple. That's about all you need. And the space.
Yeah, and I figured this out that we are actually, since I'm saving so much for all those canceled camps that I'm not sending my kid to, that I've actually have no, like the money I already have there because I was able to save it on all my camp fees. So I can spend that on the things that I need to create a garden. And I'd like that idea of having like a boxed garden, right? That we could actually have a space and there's some ownership there. And then what sort of things should we be thinking of growing right about now, Terry? We've got the summer. Is it a good time to plant, or have I already sort of missed that opportunity? Let's say I'm going to start my garden on June 15th.
You know, I would, one beautiful thing like at the garden places, it's a little late to do seedlings or from seed, but you can buy the little seedling tomato plants.
And that they're already started, right? The ones that are already started, that you just take them and you plant them.
Yes. Those I really recommend because they're in season, and you could go through, and you could take your kids, you know, and let them pick out plants. If you're going to do from seed, I recommend things like cucumbers, pickling cucumbers, and things that you can have fun with that way. Lettuce is it's a little difficult to grow at this time, so I would again go with the seedlings on that.
I'm always afraid with lettuce that bugs are going to eat them before I do. Are they delicate that way?
Well, they kind of are, yeah. You know, but if you're growing them in pots, is actually better. I've started growing a lot of things in pots, including potatoes, because it's easy to harvest them. You just pull the whole plant out, and there's your potatoes. It's great. I do peas in pots now. I have some, I don't know if you could see that, but I have some corn growing behind me here.
But talk about your cucumbers for pickles. I love that you do your pickles, and those are really nice, crafty sort of labels. So there's some arts and crafts projects that can sort of go with the garden, right?
Oh yes, that I love. You know, when you do the plants, either the seedlings or the seeds, you know, sometimes you'll forget what kind of plant did I plant there. So it's good to have the little label tags. And I found that's a great arts and craft project that you can start with your kids, where you take popsicle sticks and either label the sticks, or I like to take the popsicle sticks and then do a plastic cutout, and we write the name of the plant on it and glue it together. Simple projects, but and you do it outside in your garden or on your patio. So it keeps them outdoors and connected.
And I would think of that with younger kids, because I thought about doing this piece with, you know, the newsletter earlier, but then I thought, well, maybe it's for younger kids. But I found that my son, who's 12, gets really into it. How do you find that with your nephew and your niece, your niece is a teenager? Like, is she really into it? And what have you heard from other kids and other families on your Facebook group?
Those that have made it a family project, the kids love it. I mean, really, they love it. Some of them have come up with that was my little suggestion about the popsicle sticks, but someone on the page showed me where their niece or nephew took stones and colored the stones and then wrote the different plant carrots or whatever on the stones and did that. And she was letting her young kids be creative. And I think all ages really will get into it. My oldest, we did a project with sunflowers last season where she grew the giant sunflowers and then she toasted them after they were grown. And she loved that. And then she gave them away to her friends, you know. And
oh, that's awesome. Now, I think that's one of the probably the last tip, right? And where kids really, really get into that is actually taking it from the garden to the table. Tell me about that and some things that we could do there. Because I love the recipes that I see on your site too.
Oh, thank you. You know, well, one really fun one was we were all quarantined and I wanted movie night. And so instead of even ordering in a pizza and all of that, I took cauliflower, which is very healthy, and made a pizza out of cauliflower crust. And then we got just vegetables out of the garden, and that was our topping. And of course, I did put on cheese and all of that. You can do veggie cheese if I'm not that strict, but they loved it. And, you know, they get into it and they helped me prepare it. And then we sat down and watched movie and had pizza from the garden. And, you know, with this quarantine, it has really brought, I think, families back together where we're eating together and we're talking and we're really visiting and learning each other again. I think that's wonderful.
I do too. Where can I find you on social media, Terry?
The best place is my new gardening website or Facebook page. And that's My Edible Garden While at Home on Facebook. And then my website is terrysteele.com. My Facebook is Facebook.com/terry.steele.10. Instagram, Terry Steele. Twitter, Terry Steele. So look me up.
Wow. Yeah, I know where to find you. It's Terry Steele. Got it. And that's Steele, by the way. So it's, you know, Steele you could spell a couple different ways, but I just want people to get the spelling right.
That's true.
And if you want to keep plugged into what your kids can be doing all summer long, just subscribe to the Plugged In Parent cheat sheet. I keep you plugged in to what your kids are plugged into. Not that I'm going to make you uber cool, because that might not happen, but I am going to give you sort of a common language so you can speak it with them, not at them, as we go through this very interesting summer together. So subscribe right there. Talk to you later. Terry, thanks again for joining us.
Thank you so much, Brad. See ya.
Bye-bye.